All right, let's jump right into this explainer and unpack a massive paradigm shift proposed by engineer Mulham Yeslam Salah al-Ashwal al-Yafae. Today, we're exploring phase one of a fascinating theoretical framework known as osomechanical relativity. You know, in physics, when a theory's foundational postulates are few, clear, and perfectly coherent, the resulting model becomes mathematically incredibly robust. And that is exactly what's been constructed here, a totally new foundation for understanding the universe.
So think about this for a second, because it really challenges everything we thought we knew about the fabric of reality. For over a century, we've basically treated space-time as the fundamental stage where the play of the universe happens. But what if the stage itself is actually an illusion? What if it's merely a byproduct of something deeper, something far more dynamic? That's the core premise we're diving into.
To build this new model step by step, we're going to hit 5 key areas today. 1. The cosmic web paradigm. 2. Limits of universal tension. 3. The illusion of space-time. 4. Action and speed limits. And finally, 5. The universal scale.
Okay, section 1. The cosmic web paradigm, laying the foundation.
Instead of that rigid geometric geometry grid we're all so used to picturing, I want you to imagine the universe as a tightly stretched cosmic trampoline. This is the osomechanical view. It proposes that the universe is actually a dynamic, tightly pulled relational structure where absolutely everything is interconnected. Which brings us directly to Principle 1, the principle of osomechanical connectivity. In this framework, stuff like mass, energy, momentum, curvature, they aren't just independent objects floating around in a void. No, they are essentially plucks and stretches on this foundational web. You, me, the Earth, we're all just localized tension. Mathematically, this is represented by a primary field, denoted as phi naught, which dictates the density of the connectivity or the local geometric tension in any given spot.
Moving on to section 2, limits of universal tension, setting the boundaries. So, with our cosmic web setup, we gotta ask, how much can this trampoline actually stretch? Because if everything is tension, there has to be a breaking point, right? Enter Principle 2, finite maximum tension, or F naught. The math here simply states that tension equals the speed of light to the 4th power divided by the gravitational constant times mass. This isn't just arbitrary algebra. It literally defines the absolute maximum limit of tension that can exist in nature. And having this finite maximum tension is absolutely crucial. By having this limit, the universe effectively protects itself. It completely prevents those infinite collapses we usually associate with singularities or the center of black holes. It also inherently caps the speed of light and dictates the ultimate limits of the universe's structural stability. It's like a built-in cosmic safety mechanism.
Now, in standard physics, quantization usually feels like this weird external rule slapped onto reality. But here, the constants of nature aren't independent actors. Through Principle 3, relational quantization, they emerge completely naturally from the conditions of equilibrium within the web itself. We get alpha naught, a formula perfectly linking the gravitational constant, mass, Planck's reduced constant, and the speed of light into one beautiful relational balance.
Let's hit section 3, the illusion of space-time, the paradigm shift. Get ready for a serious plot twist that's going to slightly fracture your view of reality in the best way possible. Principle 4 gives us emergent geometry. That metric tensor g mu nu that we always use to describe spacetime, turns out it's actually just a mathematical result of that primary field we discussed earlier. The geometry of the universe isn't the canvas itself. It's just a pattern painted by the tension.
I mean, this is the ultimate aha moment of phase 1. The geometric spacetime of old physics is merely an illusion. It is entirely a side effect, an emergent property resulting from the distribution of this vibrating, tension-based cosmic web. It completely flips the script on conventional theoretical physics.
All right, section 4, action and speed limits, movement on the web. Now that we know spacetime is just a byproduct, how do things actually move around? According to Principle 5, unified relational action, physical action isn't just things traveling through an empty void. It is the literal, physical transfer of tension and connectivity across the web. Represented by S naught, when you move an object, you are literally transferring tension from one part of the cosmic web to another. And this perfectly tees up Principle 6, velocity limitation. We have to completely redefine the speed of light. It's no longer just a kinematic speed limit for a particle zooming through space. Instead, it's the maximum allowable rate at which a tension transfer, a pluck, can ripple across our cosmic trampoline. You simply cannot transfer structural tension faster than this limit. Light isn't traveling through space. Space is rippling at the speed of light.
Down to our final pillar, Section 5, the universal scale, unifying the macro and micro.
So we have to wonder, does a massive galaxy interact with the web the exact same way a tiny atom does? The answer is found in Principle 7, hierarchical scales. Whether we're looking at atomic systems, incredibly dense nuclear systems, or giant cosmic systems, they all operate on the exact same connectivity structure. The only difference is they're subjected to different scales of tension.
Which gives us this really incredible unifying equation. The mass ratio times the square of the time ratio times the cube of the radius ratio will always equal 1. This single formula unifies motion, quantization, and scale similarity across the entire universe. By locking mass, time, and radius ratios into perfect balance, it mathematically proves that the underlying rules of the cosmic web are truly universal. So, to quickly wrap up this explainer, you can see how phase 1 of osomechanical relativity completely replaces independent constants and rigid geometry with a unified, interconnected web of relational tension. We've gone from primary spacetime to emergent spacetime, from an independent speed limit to an absolute tension transfer limit, and from external quantization to a system of natural relational balance. It's a cohesive 7-principle foundation for a radically different universe.
It's a profound shift in perspective that beautifully intertwines everything into a single cosmic web. But, it definitely leaves us with a pretty massive mystery to think about. If our entire reality is just tension on a cosmic web, what exactly is pulling the strings? Keep that in mind and keep questioning the universe around you. Catch you next time.